So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new assembly by creating a multi-part assembly using all the parts for a train that I'm going to show you. Now, we're going to go ahead and bring all those parts in. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into Insert, and we're going to put in all these parts. One, a cow catcher. We're going to take one hitch peg. We're going to take 4 of these, and you'll see them populating right here. So we're going to take a magnet hitch, a smokestack. I'm going to take 4 train axles, a train body, 2 linkage arms, and 4 wheels. Now, it is crucial that you name each part in each one of the documents down here that I have, and make sure those are there. Now, once they are, it makes it easier when they're named here. I have a total of 19 parts I've added, and I'm going to just hit OK, and it's going to add it on here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the train body right here, and I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to fix it so it does not move. So now we have this steady object here. Now I'm just going to highlight everything right here, and now that it's highlighted, I'm just going to drag it off to the side, and now we're going to start our assembly. The first thing we're going to focus in on is the train axles. So I'm going to take the train axles, and I'm just going to move them out here. I'm going to take 2 of them right here, and it happens sometimes. I'm going to stop that. I actually double clicked on it. So I'll come back to my train axle assembly, and I'm going to take my other axle right here. I'm going to drag it out here, and I'm going to take 2 wheels. So now with this wheel, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use a simple cylindrical mate, and I'm going to take a cylindrical mate right here to the top in here, and I am going to just spin it slightly, and I'm going to mate it directly to the top of the peg, axle peg right there, and it's going to look like that. I'm also going to make sure the limits are set to 0, and I'm going to finish that. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other part with another wheel. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use another cylindrical mate, and we're going to take a cylindrical mate to the hole itself. And on the back of the wheel, I'm going to cylindrical mate it to the back of this wheel right here. And just like that, it doesn't look like it, but once I solve it, it'll automatically attach both parts. And I'm going to do that to the other. So I'm going to make sure that, again, my limits are set to 0. And when I finish, all my parts snap into place. So now I have both wheels attached to this train. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these train axles, and we are going to attach it to here. Now we're going to use, once again, the cylindrical mate, and I'm going to click on here on the outside of the circle, and I'm going to click on the top of here of this peg right there, and it's going to insert it. I'm going to go to limits, and again, 00, and we're going to do that to the other wheel also. So now I'm going to look for my linkage peg right here, and I'm going to drag it out so I can see it, and I'm going to drop that linkage peg right into this hole right there. Again, I'm going to go back to the cylindrical mate, and just like I did with the axle peg, right to the top in there, and then right into this hole right here. I can zoom in a little more so I can see it right there. Make sure it's the top. Click on it once, and once it's in there, it should look like that right there. I'll make sure it's done, and there I go. Okay, now we'll do the same thing to the other side, and make sure that the cylindrical mate for this one is also limited to 0, like that. If you forget, go back and edit it, and now we'll do it to the other one too. So here's a funny little trick. If for whatever reason it flips it like that around for you, before you finish it, go ahead and click on this flip primary axis, and it'll put it into the right way, and then you can finish it up, and there you go. So now these 2 are in place. So now you got half the parts done. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to come and we're going to do another cylindrical mate, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the cow catcher. Okay. So now, once I take the cow catcher, we're going to reposition it so that we can see it. Okay. And I'm going to do first a cylindrical mate to the outside here, outer peg right there. Or I could do it to the inside, which is closer to the body. And again, it's going to be easier for you to probably do the outer body. Again, same like I did the other wheels and everything else, right here to the front. And again, it's spinning around. If I click on here, primary axis, flips it around, and then I can just spin it around using the revolution tool right there. And make sure it's limited so it doesn't move around. Okay. And now I've got that done and it's complete. Now you see it won't move, but it will spin. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one more thing, is we're going to add another mate to this to stop it spinning. And what I can do is, since I have this hole exposed, I'll drop in another mate there. Or if I come in here, I edit this one since it's the last one, and I can also limit the spin on that, and it will lock this in place, and now it won't move. So with this one, you really want to make that complete. So now we'll come into the back, and I will take the hitch peg, which is right here, drag it over here, and I will take the magnet, and I will go ahead and then pull this over here. Make sure we don't have the wheel in there because we don't want the wheel. And I'm going to do what I did with the wheel and the axle again. Again, another one of these to the top. And one right here. Make sure the limits are set to 0. Okay. And do that. And then we're going to make sure that this is another cylindrical mate in here. And I'm going to put that in there with this right here to the bottom of that. And make sure all my limits are set to 0 on this one. Okay. And you see how it's flipped it around? That's simple. Again, go in here and edit. And all you need to do is just click on that. And it should spin everything for you around. Now, you see, it's causing a little bit of problems. So we need to make sure which one it is. So you got to be careful which peg you choose, because it can cause a little bit of problem for you. So we have this here. Again, it'll happen a lot for you. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to take this part right here, put it right there. Again, if I flip this around, it should fix it, everything for you. Ding, bang, boom, done. Make sure your limits are set to 0. If it screws up, just delete it and do it again. And then all you need to do is finish this up by putting the stack in here. And again, all you need to do is I'll go ahead and use the one last time to the bottom here of that circle. And then I'll put this to the bottom of this right there, in there. And just make sure all my limits are set to 0. And then we're done. So now you have this right here. So now, why don't you go ahead and finish this up? So continue doing all the things I just did, and you'll have this train finished assembled in a couple of moments. And there you go. Our toy train is assembled. All the parts are on here, and this thing looks marvelous. Now, I went ahead and put some other colors on here and put some other stuff in there, but you guys can do anything you want. It's looks amazing, and that is our toy train. So just using cylindrical mate and limiting the Z up and down, but mostly leaving the Z rotation alone, except for the cow catcher where it has a total Z lockdown with the limits. All right, and so that's it, guys. So have fun.